The golf world is buzzing. Right now, all eyes are on one man, Scottie Scheffler. He is the best player on the planet. 4 majors, world number 1, the most dominant force the sport has seen since Tiger Woods. But this story is not about his trophies or his swing. This story is about something else entirely. Behind closed doors, Scottie Scheffler has issued a shock ultimatum. The exact details have stayed quiet. Players are talking, insiders are whispering, but one thing is clear: the PGA Tour is in trouble. Big trouble. Here is what we know. Scheffler has made a decision that has sent shockwaves through the locker room. A decision that questions everything the tour is doing right now. The timing could not be worse. The US Open is just weeks away. The biggest test of his career is coming. But why? What did Scheffler do? And why does it matter more than any other player's opinion? That is what we are going to break down. Because this is not just about one player skipping a tournament. This is about a deeper war. Between the players and the people running golf. Between fairness and randomness. Between legacy and chaos. Scheffler is not a loud guy. He does not chase headlines. So when he speaks, people listen. When he acts, the whole sport shakes. So here is my question. Do you think Scottie Scheffler is right to push back? Drop your take in the comments. And if you want the full story, hit subscribe. Because trust me, you do not want to miss what comes next. What Scheffler said behind those closed doors changes everything. To understand why his move matters so much, you need to understand the state of the PGA Tour right now. Trust me, it is not good. Over the last year, the tour has been hit with wave after wave of change. None of it has gone down well with the players. First came the field size cuts. Full events dropped from 156 players to 144. Smaller events from 132 down to 120. The biggest one, the number of fully exempt tour cards was slashed from 125 to just 100. 25 players who used to have guaranteed status now have nothing. The tour blamed slow play. The players called it insulting. Veterans like Lucas Glover said the explanation was disrespectful. Major champion Matt Fitzpatrick backed him, calling it pathetic that pace of play keeps getting used as an excuse while nothing ever gets fixed. That alone was bad enough. Then came the real bombshell. The USGA and the R&A, the two bodies that actually run the rules of golf, announced the ball rollback. Starting in 2028, professionals will be forced to use a ball that travels shorter. Estimates range from 12 to 20 yards less off the tee. The reason? Course preservation. They say modern players hit it so far that classic courses have become obsolete. The players did not just disagree. They exploded. Justin Thomas called the decision selfish. He said it was bad for the game. Then he dropped a line that went viral, asking if they would make a mile longer so the fastest mile time does not change, or raise the NBA hoop because players can jump higher. Bryson DeChambeau called it the most atrocious, uninspiring thing you could possibly do to golf. On the other side, Rory McIlroy supported it, saying it would barely affect the average golfer and would make the sport more sustainable. The biggest names in the game were now publicly fighting each other. But Scottie Scheffler stayed quiet. He watched, he listened. While everyone else was shouting, he was thinking. That is why what he did next caught everyone off guard. When the world number 1 finally decided to speak, he did not do it with words. He did it with action. And that action has now put the entire PGA Tour on notice. You might be wondering, what kind of action? What could the world number 1 possibly do that would shake the tour so hard? Here is the answer. Scheffler made a decision that no one expected. He chose to skip the Truist Championship, a $2,000 event, one of the biggest tournaments on the calendar, and he did it not because he was injured, not because he was tired in the normal way. He did it because of something deeper, something that has been eating at him for years. This was not a random choice. This was a statement, a message sent directly to the people running the sport. And here is the thing, he had a very specific reason, one that goes back to a painful lesson he learned in 2024. That year, Scheffler won the Memorial Tournament. It was a huge victory, one of the biggest of his season. He was on top of the world. But then came the US Open just 1 week later, and he was exhausted, completely drained. He finished tied for 43rd, way below his standard. Afterward, he admitted something that stuck with him. He said winning that Memorial took everything out of him. He showed up to the US Open with nothing left. His body was there, his mind was not. That experience changed how he views the schedule forever. He realized that playing too much before a major does not help him. It hurts him. So now, he is protecting himself. He is choosing rest over money, choosing the majors over the regular events. And he is not the only one. Rory McIlroy has already skipped 3 signature events this season: the Heritage, the Cadillac, the Travelers. 3 massive tournaments, 3 huge paydays, and he just walked away from all of them. Matt Fitzpatrick has done the same. Xander Schauffele too. Ludwig Aberg joined the list. At the Cadillac Championship, 5 of the top 15 players in the world were missing. 5. In a $2,000 event. That is not normal. That is a revolt. The media noticed. Golf writers started asking the obvious question: how can you have 3 signature events squeezed between the Masters and the PGA Championship, and the 2 biggest names in the sport skip all of them? It does not make sense. The schedule is broken. The players are voting with their feet, and Scheffler's absence was the loudest vote of all. Because when the best player in the world turns down $2 million to rest, you know something is deeply wrong. This is not a player being lazy. This is a player sending a message. A message that says the current system does not work, that the people running the tour are not listening, that the players are tired of being treated like machines. And that is where the ultimatum part comes in. Scheffler did not threaten anyone publicly. He did not give an interview blasting the tour. He did not post anything on social media. He simply made his choice. And that choice spoke louder than any words could. He showed the tour that even their biggest star has limits. Even their most loyal player will walk away if the system is broken. But here is the thing. His frustration goes beyond just the schedule. To really understand why Scheffler is pushing back, you have to understand how he thinks about the game. He does not just want to win. He wants the best player to win. He believes golf should reward skill, not luck, not randomness, not bad breaks. We saw this clearly at the 2025 PGA Championship at Quail Hollow. The course was soaked from heavy rain, but officials chose not to allow players to lift, clean, and place their balls. The result was chaos. Scheffler hit a perfect drive into the fairway, a drive that should have set him up for birdie. Instead, his ball picked up mud. That mud sent his approach shot sideways. He made double bogey. A great shot turned into a disaster because of a rule. Afterward, he called the situation frustrating. He said a rules decision had turned a skill competition into a lottery. That is the heart of his frustration. He does not mind a hard test. He minds an unfair one. He wants the best player to win, not the luckiest. The same thing happened at the 2026 PGA Championship at Erin Hills. Aaron Rai walked away with the trophy, but Scheffler was among the players openly critical of the course setup, the greens, the pin positions, the sheer difficulty. The leaderboard was bunched together. Skill was no longer separating the field the way it should. When the world number 1 starts questioning whether the setup is rewarding great golf, the governing bodies should be listening, because no one on earth has more credibility on that subject than Scottie Scheffler. Now here is where the story gets truly fascinating. There is one major championship Scottie Scheffler has never won, the US Open. He has won the Masters twice. He has won the PGA Championship. He has won the Open Championship. The only piece missing from the career Grand Slam is the US Open. If he wins it, he becomes just the 7th man in history to complete the Grand Slam, joining Gene Sarazen, Ben Hogan, Gary Player, Jack Nicklaus, Tiger Woods, and Rory McIlroy. That is the most elite club in golf. Only the greatest of the greats have done it, and the timing is almost too perfect to believe. The 2026 US Open runs from June 18th to the 21st. The final round falls on Scottie Scheffler's 30th birthday. Imagine completing the career Grand Slam on the day you turn 30. You could not script it better. The stars, as many have pointed out, appear to be aligning, but here is the cruel twist. The 2026 US Open is being hosted by the USGA, the very body whose ball rollback his peers have been savaging, the same organization the players have accused of selfish decision-making, and it is being held at Shinnecock Hills in Southampton, New York, one of the most brutal courses in American golf. The last time the US Open visited Shinnecock in 2018, Brooks Koepka won at just 1 over par. The third round that year produced a scoring average above 75. Players walked off the course calling it broken, unfair. This is exactly the kind of setup Scheffler has warned against. He is walking into a test run by the people he disagrees with, on a course with a history of turning skill into survival, and his own US Open history adds another layer of pressure. In 8 career appearances, he has never won this championship. His best finish was a runner-up in 2022. He has had several top 10s. But he has also had nightmares, none worse than the 2024 U.S. Open at Pinehurst. He stumbled to a tie for 43rd. Afterward, he described the game of golf as a mental torture chamber. For a player this dominant, the U.S. Open has been his one stubborn blind spot, the major that refuses to bend to his greatness. Despite never winning it, Scottie Scheffler is the betting favorite to win the 2026 U.S. Open. The odds are shorter than anyone else in the field, and the form backs it up. Coming into the championship, he has racked up a win and multiple top 5 finishes, including a string of runner-up results. He is rounding into peak form at exactly the right moment. His game is built for the U.S. Open in many ways. He is the best ball striker in the world, relentlessly accurate, mentally unshakable, almost impossible to rattle over 4 grinding days. A Shinnecock setup that punishes wild play and rewards precision should, in theory, suit him perfectly. But that is also the danger. A course this severe, run by a body this committed to making it hard, can produce exactly the kind of luck-driven chaos Scheffler has spent months warning about. A bad bounce, a mud ball, a brutal pin on the wrong afternoon. Even the best player in the world can be knocked out of a championship that should be his. That is the irony at the center of this entire story. Scottie Scheffler's biggest complaint about modern golf, that the rules and setups are introducing randomness and taking skill out of the equation, is now the single biggest threat standing between him and history. He is the best player in the world, openly skeptical of the people running the game, walking onto the most punishing stage they have, with the career Grand Slam and a 30th birthday celebration on the line. If he wins, he silences every doubt and joins the immortals. If the setup bites him the way Shinnecock has bitten so many before, his warnings about the direction of the sport will look painfully prophetic. Either way, Scottie Scheffler has made his position clear. He has shown the tour that he will not just accept whatever they throw at him. He will push back. He will prioritize his legacy over their schedule. He will choose the majors over the money, and now he has to go prove it the only way that matters, with a golf club in his hands, on the toughest test the game can offer, against a governing body he does not fully trust. The whole golf world will be watching to see whether the best player alive can rise above the chaos, or whether the chaos finally catches even him. Do you think Scheffler can pull it off? Let me know in the comments. And if this breakdown got you ready for the U.S. Open, drop a like, subscribe too, because this story is only going to get bigger as Shinnecock gets closer. There is a lot more coming.